Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter when you may be catching this particular broadcast. Altavis Pelzer here, your voice manager. I unmute the voice of women who are ready to speak up about what has kept her silent for way too long. Host of the hashtag Speak Easy podcast, and I am coming to you right quick before I do a virtual event. Like literally, I got like 10 minutes that I can come and bust it up with you guys really quickly. But it was important for me to come and make this statement as I'm preparing for this event this morning because the event is beyond the trauma. And I'm going to be talking about this during this particular event. I'm going to be speaking on it this morning as one of the keynotes. And so I'm excited because when we think about going beyond the hard times, most times we don't see it, we can't envision it. And it's because we do not realize how strong we are. We don't understand our strength. And so I had to come and talk to you guys really quickly because I wanted to encourage you this morning. Understand your strength. I did this message, and this is interesting how it's popping up because a few years ago, when I first got into live streaming and speaking for different events and being a part of different opportunities, um, I did a message where I talked about going from one pound in weight to going to 10 pounds or 5 pounds to going to 10 pounds to going to 50 and so on and so forth. And I said that at each moment, there's a point where we have to do a restart, almost like a reboot, because we have to go to a higher weight. And so for many of you, this whole time frame, good morning Eureka, he says, this whole time frame over the last 2 years has been your time of reboot. It's your time to go and get a heavier weight. And for some of you, that's scary because it meant being more transparent about your story. It meant stepping out of your comfort zone. It meant going and doing something you've never done before or even thought about doing. But your strength lies in you being able to move forward, that consistent action. And we think that on day one, when we have to go and pick up that heavier weight, that because we've done all of these reps before now, that day one should be easy. And that's not always the case. Because when we go to that higher level, when we go to that stronger, heavier weight, it's something new. Your strength comes from your preparation. If I go towards that 50-pound weight, thinking that it's going to feel like the 5-pound weight simply because it has a 5 on it, there's potential pain and harm and damage that I can do to myself. I need y'all to hear me clearly. Some of you are in a moment where you have to realize that there's a preparation that has to happen before you can pick up that next weight. There's a preparation that needs to happen. There's something you need to be doing. There's something you need to be reading. There's something you need to be creating before you get to that point, because the 50 pounds does not feel like 5. And if you attempt to do that without the preparation and the work that is needed and necessary, then you will cause pain and damage to your purpose. Y'all better come on. You will cause pain and damage to your purpose. Your strength comes from preparation. Your strength comes from conversation. Some of you are in the season where it's time for you to go and talk to the person that's already done it. Talk to the person that's at the level that you're trying to achieve. And don't just talk, but listen. So number one, your strength comes from preparation. Number two, your strength comes from conversation. And so here's the thing. and it's going to hurt a few people, and I understand it. When you go into the conversation, go as a student, not as an expert. When you go into the conversation, go as a student, not as an expert. I got about 8 more minutes before I gotta let you guys go. But you gotta go into it as a student, not as an expert. Here's the thing: we get into a place where we think, good morning, Trudy. We get into a place where we think I have to go to them as if I'm the expert. I have to go to them with my chest pumped out. I gotta go to them almost like the peacock with my feathers outright. But guess what? That's not what this is for. That's not what this is about. You need to go to them in a spirit of humility, because you're going as a student, not as a teacher, not as the expert. And when we get into that, good morning, Shalonda. When we get into that understanding, when we get to that place, now I can go. See, people often ask me a question of how is it that you know this person? How is it that you've been networking with this person? How did you come into contact with this person? It's because when I realize that there is something in that person that I am to learn, then I go to them as a student, not as an expert. I go to them as humbly as I can. I go and I ask questions. I go and I listen. Your strength relies on preparation. Your strength is created from conversations. And then the third one is your strength. It needs transparency. Anytime that you think that you can go from the 5 pounds to the 50 pounds, and then you lift it and it's too heavy for you, and you are unwilling to tell someone that it is too heavy for you to carry, what now happens? You end up hurting yourself. Now, in the entrepreneurial realm of that, you end up hurting your business because you're attempting to carry more than what you should. You were not ready, and in that moment, you attempted to pick up something that was heavier than what you could carry. And so there's shame that comes with that. And if you are unwilling to be transparent about where you are in that moment, you'll find yourself not moving past that moment. Now, even if you move past it a little bit and you make a little bit of extra money, but spiritually, mentally, emotionally, you will still be in that moment until you are transparent about what you have done and what you were not able to do. It's interesting because people go, oh, you tell too much information on social media, or oh, you tell too much information, when it comes to decline. Listen, oh, you do too much when it comes to I've heard all the stories, I've heard all of the messages. Listen, I understand. But my strength had to take all of those things into consideration. Preparation, conversation, and transparency. Because I would not be the woman that I am today if I did not do those things. And so as I prepared to go and speak for this Beyond the Trauma conference and summit, I am excited to give them this word that was dropped on me like last week before I even knew who it was going to be for. The message that God gave me, I was like writing it down, and I'm like, okay, God, I don't know what this is for, but I don't know who it's for, but all right. I wrote it down, I typed it up, and I set it to the side. And then someone asked me, Dorothea, who is the host and organizer of this summit, she said, would you be able to speak on Monday? I said, what time? And mind you, today is my podcast interviews day. So I normally got a whole lineup of things that I'm doing on today. And I was like, what time? She told me the time. I said, you know what? I sure can. I'll be there. And I thought about it and I was like, wow, God, you already gave me the message for them. And I'm starting off the summit. Oh, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. They ain't ready. But I had to come and share this with you guys. Share this out. Give it to a friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tag a friend. Tell somebody that their strength requires preparation, conversation, and transparency. Because we have even greater things coming in the weeks to come. Guys, we got 7 weeks left in 2021. We're not stopping. Neither should you. I appreciate y'all. I'm about to run so I can go ahead and log in for the summit. You guys have a great rest of your day. And until next time, don't forget to press it out. See ya.